worthless. I'm trying to seek purpose, fight for something I believe's worth it. For the curse, I'ma reverse it. I don't dream cause I sleep nervous. Yet I keep flirting, face death like a Steve Irwin. Whole heat, I'ma drink thermos till the bartender keeps serving. I'm trying to be perfect, using dirty shit to clean dirt with. Only happy with the weed burning, traded oxygen to breathe herb in. Till I see curtains, lungs fail and they cease working. Air is something that I need urgent, suffocating, trying to squeeze words in. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Map less, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down to my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweating shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's dead, never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left. I let the record show, I let the tech explode. Put up the weapon show, pull up the Texaco. Narcos in Mexico. Call up the technical. They know the text will blow. Shots out on Plexico. Turn you to vegetable. Body electrical. Acid and alkaline. Body so flexible. The shooters feast like a Uber Eats. Got a group of these suited, these scooter bees. While letting the Uzi Aruga speak. An American got up in Cuba eats. The powers they seek and powers the weak. They following creeps. Powers that be. Inherit the world from cowards and sheep. Went to the mountains, top towers and peaks. Flowers and sweets and showered our feet. The lightning and thunder, the shower the sleep. Shower the D's. This not a verse, this our receipts. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good.
All right. There you have it. Last Breath from Cambada off of the Black Magic album. You already know what it is. Go check that out on all of your streaming platforms. Man, oh man, I wish I could play out some new music. Because I love Last Breath, but this new music that I've been listening to is making that song sound like it was like I did that 3 years ago. We got some real heat on the stove right now. Shout out to everybody that I've been working with behind the scenes, putting together another classic, Scorpion King Part 2, dropping in 2020. You know, picking up where we left off in 2016 with the first Scorpion King project. It's a 10 song project. It's not on the streaming platforms. I decided to keep it off of the platforms based off of things, based off of ownership. You know, some of the red tape with streaming platforms. But for 2020, I will be putting a mastered version of Scorpion King on the streaming services right before Scorpion King comes out, so y'all can have that in your Spotify playlist and all of that stuff. All right, let's do this roll call and see who is in the building tonight. You know we gotta open up the portals. It's a wolf moon. You know what I'm talking about. This is Third Eye Fridays. This is a special episode, broadcasting to you live and direct from the NYC, the BX to be exact, the home of hip hop. I'm where I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm talking about? And I hope that y'all where y'all supposed to be. North Kansas City's in the building. Chirac is in the building. Seattle's in the building. Yeah. West Pittsburgh is in the building. Alright. West Palm Beach, Florida is in the building. Cleveland is in the building. Fort Worth, North Carolina is in the building. Nairobi's in the building. Shout out to Nairobi. Yeah, the moon is in the building. Look outside of your window. H-Town is in the building. It's a full moon tonight, family. 504, NO is in the building. On the 12th is going to be, it's a lunar eclipse tonight as well. You know what I'm talking about? Fresno, California. Tonight is a powerful night. If you on the town, if you out here sliding, you know what I'm talking about. If you on your porch, if you in the lab, if you in the kitchen, Barbados, if you in the club, if you in the Cleasy, if you in the Shake Booty Club, if you in a gambling spot, if you at the dice game, if you in a casino, Denver, 303 Mile High, uh, then tap into the power of this lunar energy. Tap into the power of it. Take advantage of the window that's open. That's what I'm saying. Be careful, of course. Stay dangerous. New York is in the building. Philly is in the building. You already know. It wouldn't be a show if the right people wasn't here. Oh, you touching the moon tonight? Oh yeah. If you have those abilities to touch the moon, yeah, go and touch that. Long Island is in the building. I highly recommend if you want some Jumpman, Jumpman, Jumpman. If you want to jump through the astral realm, you know, with the help of a froggy toad that will help you leap into the ethers, then I recommend tonight is the night. Why are you gonna ask me what it is when you could go and look it up while I'm building? You know what I mean? Go and get the Wikipedia. You know, find out what these moons mean. You know, find out what the Saturn Jupiter conjunction means. You know, find out what these alignments are because to be honest with you, it's going to become more personal and you're going to be able to really feel the power of the celestial event when you as the student take the second step. I made the first step, so it's your time to take two steps, you know, in a direction, and then I make 10 steps towards you. You know, that's how this thing's supposed to be working. But we're going to get into it, of course, tonight. I'm going to go over the moons. I'm going to go over the conjunction. I'm going to go over everything. We're going to go over some cloth talk tonight. We're going to go over some bag talk because I recently had a video on Instagram where I did, and I uploaded a portion of it to the YouTube because the whole thing didn't upload to my phone with my memories like at 2% left. I'm about to upgrade to the 11 X on you niggas with the 3 camera in a minute. You know what I'm talking about? But we did a video where we offered uh, the family, everyone that was within hearing distance, of an opportunity to open up another income stream. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I want to give a million thanks, ashes, and gratitude to the people, the tons of people, because I have hundreds of people who signed up and they were very proactive in handling their business and getting to that bag. You know what I'm talking about? Because when windows open, we come climbing through, you know, and that's what it is on the internet. There's always opportunity to make things happen. So we're making some things happen on the internet simply by using the power of our numbers. That's it. Point blank period. Nothing else. You don't even have to get all spaced out. The power of the numbers can get you into a better place in life, you know, by opening up multiple income streams just by utilizing the network that you have to talk about things other than war, talk about things other than fear, talk about things other than false expectations appearing real. But you don't want to talk about this bag though. You don't want to give as much forecast and and you don't want to give it as much energy. You don't want to give your vision of winning. You don't want to give the vision of you counting up a whole bunch of bags while people is at war or when they in peace. It doesn't matter because there's opportunity in every situation that life has to offer. Understand that. That separates that, and that's right there is what separates the mice from the men. The ability to adapt and the ability to take advantage and step back and, you know, see yourself in the middle of everything and being able to position yourself in a place where you are going to be the receiver of power. And what is power? Power translates to multiple things, and it also translates to currency, which manifests as what you know as fiat or money, or that guap or the guala. You know what I'm talking about? Or that dinero or that cheddar or that chicken. You know what I'm talking about? You know. But overall, it's still a byproduct of a currency, of an energy, of a charge. Somebody's charging something to you. If somebody's, giving you something, if somebody's gifting you something, if somebody's investing in you, that's a charge. So this is we're gonna keep it simple. You know what I'm talking about? Our people are so used to being self-sabotage and so used to being gotten that they scared of simple. You know, they scared of simple. So the rope that we're throwing and the quote unquote the keys that we're throwing and the pearls that we're pitching is something that you may want to pick up and take advantage of. You know, along with the millions of other pearls, keys, uh, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, lapis lazuli, quartz crystals, Herkimer diamonds that we've thrown out on an every episode. On a every time we come up to the bat, every episode basis, consistently for more than 10 years. So pick it up. Uh, leave well on YouTube. The only thing that you can do is leave your email, and if you're comfortable leaving it in the open, because there is no inbox on YouTube. They don't have a messaging system to whereas you can actually build with the people, which, to be honest with you, I feel that's nefarious because they are restricting people from getting in personal touch with the people that are watching them, the viewership that are on YouTube's platform. They want to restrict us from forming a friendship or a relationship or a business relationship off of their platform, where they can't gather the information of our transactions, our communications, and our locations amongst every other things. That's why they have us locked into these platforms that we're contracted to, because when we signed up to all of these user agreements, it's some shit in the fine tuning that we might not realize is given the government and given these platforms, which is a form of the government at this point, privately owned, privately traded, or publicly traded and privately owned entities that are basically data centers, behavior prediction centers, um, uh, a socialized version of what DARPA was creating with their quote unquote second world, right, and whatnot. And that's what social media is becoming. And with the introduction of virtual reality by ways and means of the Oculus Rift, which is going to roll out sometime in 2020 and forward, especially with the rise of 5G, in the onslaught, or the oncoming of quantum computing via the quantum internet and via quantum computers that people are going to have like laptops. That right there, when they achieve quantum supremacy, which will be this year or next, very very soon, you know, we're gonna be ushered into um, the age of quantum, and then everything changes. It's almost like a whole, it's a different age, um, and the alignments that are coming up in this very, very powerful year of 2020, I highly recommend that everybody on this show goes and after this show is over, you go and check out Ross Ben, RASBEN. He has a channel on YouTube. Just put Ross Ben in the search bar and he'll come up. And he has a video called, I give you, matter of fact, let me give you his channel. I'm gonna show you where his channel is right here. Yeah, his YouTube channel is just called Ross Ben. And he did something called Ross Ben's 2020 forecast. Alright. Go and check that out. My dude, he did some powerful work, you know, doing the numerical and the cosmological, you know, breakdown about what 2020 represents. Wisdom, wisdom, like Brother Mizraim said, the two and the two, you know. Um, you know, double helix with DNA activation. 2020 is the year of great conjunctions. It is the year of the great conjunctions. All right. So we're talking polarity, duality, both and, either or, binary, quantum, complementary, antagonistic, reunification, separation. So you're gonna see a little bit of everything. You know, you're gonna see the dirty glass of water and the clean glass of water. You're gonna see things go haywire, and you're gonna see a lot of order come to things. You're gonna see madness, but you're also gonna see joy. You know, these are the two twos. Take the zeros out of 2020 and you get the 2 2. You know, two is an action verb, but two, TO, resonates. You know, more is TOO. And then our days start with today, tomorrow, right? These are quotes from my brother Ross Ben. I'm just sharing quotes. These are like sound bites. I don't know if I could play the video because of the YouTube copyright issues and whatnot. So I have to read from my notes. The rulers of space and time. So on the conjuncture, on the conjunction of Saturn, okay, and Jupiter, we're going to have what is known as the ultimate inevitable, okay? Ultimate inevitable, all right? The alignment of relative, truth with absolute, and truth is the key to survival in these days, okay? There's gonna be a lot of things going on. I'm gonna touch on it a little bit more as we move forward. But you were to take full advantage of 2020, and we started out this year with a bang, because when I put out the video and when I had this conversation on the Instagram, the response that I got was a real healthy response, and we were able to see real results in real time. Oh yes, Ros Ben was also the author of the book Free Your Mind. Free your mounds and your mind will follow, right? And we was breaking that down on the show. And that right there, that was a monumental book. So yeah, here we go. I just want to show the family. I started out with $0, right? And there I go. My clicks, 100. My referrals out of 100. I just got to complete some tasks. But I got that right on my phone, right in a few days, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just by, playing, doing what I had to do. And the people doing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? And handling their business, you know, because that's what this is about. That's what 2020 is about. Handle your BI. You know what I'm talking about? Because we not here to play no games. Look, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Clicks. These are my referrals. You know, and that's the earnings. So this is what this whole year is gonna represent. It's starting off at a minuscule level like this. Imagine where we're gonna be at the end of the year, when we stay consistent, and when we stay focused, and when we stay, and we stay open minded, and we don't utilize fear, and we don't utilize self sabotaging, and we don't utilize anything, you know, to stop us from doing what we have to do. No, this is not YouTube. Somebody asked, was this from YouTube? Hell no. This is from surveyjunkies.com. This is from the program that I'm in right now, where I'm just basically, I'm just getting money on my phone, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I took 2 days and I basically immersed myself in my phone, and I was just doing these tasks. It's really like playing games on your phone, but you're playing and you're making money at the same time. You're signing up to apps, and then you got to delete the apps. You're signing up for free trial periods to like Hulu and shit like that. Then you got to go back and delete it. So it's really a game. But all good, all, this whole shit is a game. Where can you find that? You can sign up under my referral link. I'm telling you about this, but when signing up under my referral link, you're going to be able to grow. You're going to be able to eat because you're attached to this network. And as you can see, this network is moving. I only need 1,000 of us. I got 100 right here. It's 109, and we making, everybody's making each other money. So nobody is making more money than the next person. We all making bread. That's just my hard work, you know. That's just me putting my shit out there and sharing something with my audience when I could have kept it to myself. Because there's a lot of people keeping shit to themselves. They don't want to tell you nothing. You did 100 an hour? Yeah, shit. I did 100 too. And it's easy. Especially if you don't got nothing to do. I had to put this shit down because I got a whole bunch of things to do. I put my life on hold for a few, and you don't even have to put that much time into it. If you ride the bus, if you ride the train, if you get chauffeured in the Uber, you know what I mean? If you got some free time, if you finish, you put little Hey Rude to sleep and whatnot, or they out there watching the best of Hidden Colors, you know, you could go ahead and do the work. In between, the Twitter, in between you tweeting and retweeting shit, you know what I'm saying, and the Twitter wars that's going on, you could go ahead and get some bread. So tap in, um, hit me on my inbox on my IG, or the link will be right there, right in the description box. You don't leave your email in the chat. Matter of fact, you don't have to do that. Don't leave your email in the chat. That's private. You know. You don't want to. But I'm gonna respond to every email in the chat. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna not respond. I will respond to everybody and send y'all the link. But we'll put the link in the description box right below, right there. You'll see it. So once again, salute to everybody that's doing, doing for self, uh, making some things happen, right? Because if you're proactive in becoming an earner in life, regardless of what it is that you may do, if you're proactive at being an earner, you're a good person. You know, you have qualities of a good person because there's people on this planet that they don't have those qualities, you know. So that's a step in the right direction. So, hit me up. We could build on it. Like I said, this is a part of the KTL empowerment. We were doing this in 2014, 2013. We were getting people internet money all the way back then. You know what I mean? Go and do the homework. We was on Blog Talk Radio. We had it popping. I remember I was in a, that was it was a dry period for me back then. And by getting into network marketing and just utilizing the platform to share ideas with people, and then they ran with stuff, and then people came with ideas and we ran with it, and it improved our lives. It improved our lives because it opened up income streams. Do you know the importance of an income stream? Do you know in times of war? Do you know in times of uncertainty? Do you know in times of turmoil? Do you know in times of unknowingness that the most important thing is the income streams and the fact that you'll continue to water them because you would fucking die if they begin to dry up and you didn't have nowhere to drink from. You only had to drink from one goddamn faucet, right? So while you still have the opportunity, because windows open and windows close, shit is only sweet but for so long. While you have the opportunity in these days and time where things like gold is affordable, things like bitcoins is affordable, things like other cryptocurrency is affordable, things like stocks and bonds, like the FANG bonds, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, when all of those are still affordable, we should be a lot more proactive. We should be a lot more responsible. We should be a lot more solution and resolution and end game based. What is end game based? End game based is something like Jay Morrison with the fund that he started and the opening up of the Legacy Center that he was able to facilitate a few months later. That's in-game strategy. That's saying that if you believe in my vision, if you follow my vision, because it's a unique vision, it's something that we thought of. It's a strategy. It's a formula, and I feel that if a few thousand of y'all invest in me, this formula would begin to work. The people believed in him and his wife. They invested in him, right? We're talking about a brother who looks like us, walks like us, talks like us. Not somebody from the goddamn commercials and whatnot, the infomercials. Not somebody from the goddamn video that pops up on these YouTubes while we talking. You don't know these people. You have no idea who these people are. I'm talking about somebody that you could connect with. I remember watching a homie on World Star. So he comes ahead and he shares a vision. And I know there's critics out there, niggas want to act like they work for the SEC or whatever. I don't want to talk about that. Because none of you niggas is lawyers, so y'all need to cut it out. You can get your reparations. You didn't get no laws changed. But you want to be Perry Mason on the internet. We ain't doing that. We're saying that the good brother and his team and his wife and his brand is looking real good because they went ahead and they had an in-game strategy and they actualized a plan that they spoke of to all of us in the woke peanut gallery who all we do is get a bunch of woke salesmen, you understand, pitching these ideas and these visions to us, you know, and a lot of those babies are not being born. These babies are not being born. It's almost akin to the abortion rate. They're throwing out these great ideas. They're throwing out this good, they're inseminating the minds of the people with these great thoughts that could be born into a real cute, healthy baby. Baby on baby on baby. Because it's not just one person. It's a whole bunch of people. Throughout my tenure, you can imagine what I've heard and seen. You could imagine what I've sat on hands and knees and waited for. You can imagine, you know what I mean, the shit that the spinning that took place. Nigga, I've been spun like the twirling dervish by some of these niggas in the community, with with all of the shit that they said that they, all of the cities that they said that they got sovereignty over. You know what I mean? All of the airliners that these niggas said that they commandeered with their paperwork. You know what I'm talking about? All of these islands that was promised to them by Hugh Hefner's uncle's baby, babysitter's godson. All of these colorful characters, you could imagine how extensive. If these niggas claiming they come from other star constellations, you could imagine how deep these niggas Skeeter is. The Skeeter is, the three, the hustle is deep. These niggas will spin you like Charlotte's Web. So, you know, we we just gotta, we gotta look at those people. Like I said, the brother has a model and he has a formula. The formula that I see, you know, is multiple formulas that I could point out. I don't know his whole program because, to be honest with you, I'm not an avid follower of Jay Morrison. I've been to, I think, two of his outdoor speeches, and the brother definitely plays a powerful role. He's needed, and he's making his mark. But what stands out to me is the fact that he utilized equity crowdfunding, you know, and by utilizing equity crowdfunding, he was legally able to raise over $5 million and more without all kind of red tape attached and strings and all of these other things with government and the banks and whatnot. So he parlayed that into something that was, basically created to help people, and he was able to do that. So I'm looking at that as a formula. I'm looking at that as a model. I'm looking at that as to say, you know what, as people who are innovative, we improve upon each other. You know what I'm talking about? That's how we grow. We improve upon each other. They call it the 100 monkey theory in terms of the way that our people catch on to what each one of us are doing, even on other sides of the planet. Meaning that they were observing a group of monkeys, and one group of monkey on one side of the planet was basically, he innovated a way on how to fish for ants, in the ant in the ant hole. So I think he put honey on a stick. Then he started sticking it, and then he was able to pull whatever the insects were that they were trying to eat. Or this, yeah. So scientists observed this on one side of the planet. Lo and behold, there was another group of scientists on another side of the planet that were observing the same group of animals, but of a whole different, genetic makeup or whatever, gene species. And these monkeys began to pick up the same uh, fishing techniques that were being observed on the other side of the planet. Now, people talk about the magnetic grid or the magnetic fields, being able to share energy along the ley lines and the energy grids. Nowadays, it repeats itself, and we see it in the form of trends online and challenges, how challenges sweep the nation, and everybody starts catching on and doing things and getting on the wave and getting on the frequency and falling right into it, you know. But imagine when those waves and those frequencies for people to fall in line and follow a trend as a trend of power, you know. What happens when it's a trend of disruption? What happens when it's a trend of, success? Then what? So, once again, mentally, first of all, before anything happens, and especially on the moon, this moon tonight, this full moon, the first moon of 2020, you know, let's read about this moon. January full moon 2020. The wolf moon arrives with a lunar eclipse. The first full moon of January, called the wolf moon, will occur on January 10th at 2:22 p.m. Eastern. It will coincide with the lunar eclipse for sky watchers in much of the world. During this eclipse, the moon will pass through Earth's faint outer shadow called the penumbra. The shadow will give the moon's face a tea-stained color for about 4 hours, beginning at 12 p.m., with maximum eclipse occurring around 2:10 p.m. The eclipse will be visible everywhere except from the United States, Central Canada, and a majority of South America and Antarctica. So in Iran, they saw the moon, but we don't, you know. In China, they're seeing this moon today, and we're not seeing it. The full moon happens about once every 27 days when the moon and the sun are on exact opposite sides of the earth. The moon looks like illuminated because we see the sun's light reflected from it. And because the moon's rotation period is the same as its orbital period, we always see the same face of our satellite world from Earth. The time of the full moon is the same time everywhere since it is determined by where the moon is relative to Earth rather than its apparent position in the sky, which is slightly different depending on one's location. In accordance with local time, observers in the British Isles and Portugal will see the moon become full at 7:21 p.m., while those in the western continental Europe will see it at 8:21 p.m. And sky watchers on the east coast of Australia will see it at 5:21 a.m. on January 11th. In New York City, the moon will rise at 4:45 p.m. local time, according to timeanddate.com. The moon will be in the constellation Gemini and will rise about 2 minutes before sunset. Okay, so the January full moon is often called the wolf moon, according to Old Farmer's Almanac, and the name may date back to Native American tribes and early colonial times when wolves would holler outside villages. According to the Ontario Native Literacy Project, the Ojibwe peoples call it Menido Gilis, the spirit moon, marking the time of prayer and contemplation. The Tinglet of Pacific Northwest called the January full moon Tawak Dis, or goose moon, while the Haida called it Tan Kungai, or bear hunting moon. Okay? In China, the traditional lunar calendar calls this full moon lunation of the 12th month Liu, or preserved month, named for the practice of preserving meats during the winter. Okay? So as you can see on different sides of the on different ends of the planet, of course, they observe the same moon, but they definitely have different names and different folklore associated to said moon. Nonetheless, you know, but it is what it is. So what I do is I do affirmations. Um, these affirmations are words of power where I'm affirming my greatness. I'm affirming the love that I have for self, for my loved ones, for my children, for my family, for my people, for my mission. Um, affirmations are also you affirming that everything is going to be what it's supposed to be. With you affirming that your ancestors are proud of you, that your ancestors are walking with you, that your ancestors forgive you, that your ancestors are going to show you the signs so you can forgive your ancestors. Things like that. You know, um, putting your jewelry in your stones. You know, it's a super moon tonight, so putting your stones and whatnot into that moon, because remember the UV ray light of the moon is the same UV ray light that grows our food at night, because the vegetables, the produce, the agriculture, any farmer will tell you that it grows under the moonlight, moonlight, moonlight. And I'm not talking about the vampires either. I'm talking about. So the moonlight is a very powerful light, triple darkness. The power of the moon, and it's just a great night. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. There's many things that you could do, but one of the things that I would encourage everybody to do is to focus on self, study self. Contemplate. There's a lot going on that could try to take you off of your square. Unfortunately, Melanin Monday's show had audio issues. I'm not blaming it on the white man. You know why? Because I had my phone hooked up to a Bluetooth speaker. I got a new speaker, Bluetooth. So I feel that the fact that my phone was connected to it, that's what uh, manipulated the sound. So I'm not giving nobody credit for nothing that they didn't do. You dig? And on that show, we was talking about fear. We were getting into the psychology behind the fear that you're seeing, the false expectations appearing real, and we were speaking common sense to this ideology that these newfound patriots were trying to spread about going to fight a war that has completely nothing whatsoever to do with them, and encouraging your children, because there's nothing they could do with me in World War III. You know what I'm talking about? What they want to do with me? I don't fit the I don't think I fit a draft criteria. But the children, the young ones, the Ma's sons, all of these teenagers in their 18, 19, the millennials and whatnot. I mean Generation Z and X. So some of them is, and look at the ones that are coming back from the other tours of duty. What's up with that? What's up with that? Will there be a draft? Um, if this agenda is what it is, a draft is definitely something that there would be, because the agenda is about population control. The agenda is about reduction of people on a planet. That's what the agenda is. This whole climate thing, the agenda is, you know, chaos. So will there be you damn right there'll be that. There'll be everything there'll be everything like we did with Black Magic 363 in 2016. We didn't waste any time. Hitler 3.0. Go and look up that classic lecture, and we explain what it's gonna be. It's gonna be everything that it was before. So yeah, I could see that, cause they got big beef. You know what I'm talking about? Them niggas got big drip all around the world right now. It's not just an Iranian thing. It's big drip. So they need manpower. Even though this shit done turned into a video game, they need manpower. They need to get rid of some of these young niggas, and they're gonna send them on all kind of missions, but it's gonna be crash test dummy missions. You know, what you think these G20 summits be about, and all of these Bilderberg meetings and whatnot? They just lining up all of their pawns so they could knock them off. These people don't like their citizens as much as you think that they do. They get bread for them getting knocked off. And I'm just saying, look at what they did with the illegal wars that we just witnessed. Were they not playing these people like pawns? Go ask the nigga who driving a Charger who did 8 tours of duty in right now he be glitching and whatnot in between every single YouTube video that he watched. Go and ask him what happened and how beneficial was it to take down the evil empire of bad guy Saddam and them. You know what I'm talking about? When they went over there and seen something totally different. You was in the military? Yeah, talk black to me. What's goody? What did it do? What did it do? Did you help save the world from evil people, my nigga? Huh? Did you stop the rise of Cobra Commander and Destro and them niggas? What happened? Hawk? Is it Hawk or Duke? Who am I talking to? Not only was it a pointless war, it was an illegal war. It was a crime against humanity, bro. It was an illegal war. It was a straight bully tactic. And it has its karmatic it was in Mesopotamia. Of all the places in the world where you can have an illegal war, they went and wiped out bloodlines. If the story is correct, if the story has any kind of relevance, if the story has any kind of legs to stand on, you went over there and was wiping out people from the bloodlines of the damn story. Like, what kind of sense does that make? Niggas is in Syria, they in Mesopotamia, and people is like, oh, that's the Arabs. Well, if it's just, well, what the fuck happened to the people that was there? Was it a complete wipeout? And then if that's the case, then that just shows that it's karma happening it's karma on karma. It's baby on baby. So the European is coming back, destroying some people who basically destroyed the original people who were inhabitants of said holy land. And then the whole thing is just in turmoil, and it's all kind of populations being sickened and destroyed, and uranium poisoning, and the soldiers coming back with this high rate of suicide. They got curses on them. They got jinns on them. They having all of these goddamn voices in their head. They out here they glitching. You know what I'm saying? In a pointless war. And then the opium epidemic skyrocketed the minute niggas hit the poppy field. How did that happen? And you can't tell me that you wasn't overseas seeing black people or melanated people. When you be like, well, where are the melanated people of these places? They don't exist. It's just Arabs over there. No, ask the soldiers who went over there. They saw it. They saw that the people is still there. You know what I'm talking about? They seen that they was still there. Is that a fact for the army personnel and the brothers and sisters from the armed services in the chat room? Just, you know, give me a facto. If it's a facto, let it, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. Are there black people in Iraq and Basra and other places? Yeah, I know they don't like us in the Middle East. I'm fully aware of that. I'm fully aware of that. And I know that the melanin people tend to be suppressed in those areas because of the racism that the Arab represents and what he brought into Africa. I'm fully aware of that. So what I said is it karmatic? Is it karma that the Caucasoid, the illegitimate child of the Aboriginal, has come back to topple or to disrupt or to assassinate and to basically slaughter, right? And to terrorize those Arabs. And he brought his niggas with him. You know what I'm talking about? He got B.A. Baracus, bazookas out there, Junkyard Dog and them niggas. He got a whole bunch of niggas with him to come back and smack the goddamn sand niggas upside their heads. To smack the Marmaluks, the Ottoman Turks, you know, and other people upside their heads. Yeah, I know they pay homage and they respect the cloth, you know, and they respect anyone in their proper persona. You go anywhere around the world, if you're in your proper persona and you're moving like a sovereign or you're moving like a noble, you don't have to be outright, yo, I'm a sovereign citizen. What is your jurisdiction before you sell me that latte? You know, you don't have to be gun ho um, sovereign. You could be a noble. You could be a diplomat. You could be of diplomatic status. You could be noble in your character. So wherever you go, you are carrying yourself as in your proper persona, in your highest self, in your most law. You're governing your mental. So you are your own government. You're an upstanding citizen. You know what I mean? You're standing upright. And you have control and self mastery over your lower self. So you will not bring shame upon yourself or your family or your crew or your city. Shit like that. You know? And that's what people have lost. They lost the need, they lost the ability, and they lost they lost the wanting to just move like that. Look, everybody wants to mix and mingle with us, bro. Everybody wants to mix and mingle since Nixon was single. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to mix and mingle. We are who we are. You know, some of us are Kemetic, some of us are Moorish, some of us are Hebrew Israelites, some of us are from the planet Ritz. You know what I mean? Some of us are whatever we say that we are. Cause yeah, like that. Some of us are whoever we say that we are. Because to be honest with you, whatever happened to us and whatever took place, we still recovering from it. So when somebody says that there's something, I don't completely write them off. I give them a benefit of the doubt that they may be onto some shit. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna write everybody off, because one thing that I'm realizing, the more closer we get to this time space continuum, the more closer we get to this new reality, the more closer we get to this, to this awakening. Things are beginning to become what I thought. Everything that I used to thought was fact is becoming fiction. You know, reality is being challenged. So I prepare myself for that. And I look forward to that. You should look forward to that. The only thing constant is change. And you could gauge where you are in quote unquote, myth in the mythos, or just in global history, you know, based off of um, the things that are beginning that are beginning to happen, that are beginning to unfold. You know, the line, you can see the lineup if you pay attention to the lineup. If you see technology, and I'm not speaking about, you know, just war, because war is inevitable. The United States is in what is known as a perpetual war, meaning that when they went to war after 9/11, they declared what is known as perpetual war. Once again, if there's anybody in the armed services, can you please give me a facto if I'm correct in my assessment that the United States Armed Forces is in a perpetual war. And perpetual war means that that's a war with no ending. And they're also engaged in something called the War of the Slums. So, okay, we got one factology, we got another facts, we got a forever. So, what I'm saying is this: to waste time and energy, and to waste, you know, and to waste, precious time worrying about something that is inevitable, right? War is inevitable. There's mad wars going on right now, and you don't give a fuck. You still go to sleep at night. You know what I mean? You still out there partying and bullshitting. You still paying your bills. It doesn't bother you. So, how are you gonna allow the media to tell you that something is gonna bother you that's never bothered you? I don't understand. Until it bothers you, nonetheless. But it hasn't even bothered you. Yet and still, you got people like, oh my goodness, this is going to happen to us. And this is going to happen, speaking these things into existence, putting passion behind it, putting belief behind it, putting their energy behind it, pushing it into the realm of known, pushing it into the realm of reality. Because look, they casted their spell and then they fell back. What did Trump and them do? They de-escalated because the spell already got casted. Now it takes time to germinate. They already casted the spell. They got niggas in their bag talking about World War III in the beginning of the new fiscal year, 2020. The soaring 20s. That was a lick. He don't have to keep pushing the fear button on war, because he pushed it at the right time. You know what I'm saying? He pushed it at the right time. So they let up off the button. There was a whole bunch of shit that happened in Iran. There was a plane crash. There was an earthquake by their nuclear plant. It was a whole bunch of shit going on. They had the worst week ever. The plane just take off and then crash right away, going to the Ukraine. Who was in that plane? Who did they not want to go out, leave either Iran, or who did they not want to get to the Ukraine? Because that wasn't no accident. Shit. If you know anything about it, there's no such thing as accidents. It's all theater. You know, it's all theater. It's all part of the act. It's all part of the quote unquote script. It's all part of the plot. That was a hit, you know. That was a hit, and it might be an inside one because the reaction wasn't like the way that they reacted. They didn't react as if it was a terroristic attack on their soil, where America's out here crashing planes and whatnot. There was somebody who was trying to leave, and they must have got wind of it, and that they made sure that that person didn't leave, along with everybody else on the plane. You know, and it's yeah, some, and at the end of the day, it's still a distraction because, to be honest with you, the people who were winning were the people who was invested in gold, the people who were invested in Bitcoin, because all of that shot through the roof. So while we having these public conversations, there's groups of people having private conversations. These conversations are not taking place on Instagram Live. They're not taking place in public forums because in a public forum, I've said it before, there's no power in the public forum. The public forum is the forum for the profane. The public forum is basically, general population. The power is in the private. The power is what's going on in those private rooms, what's going on in those lodges, what's going on in those social clubs, what's going on in those fraternal orders, what's going on in those dinner meetings, what's going on behind those closed doors of the real power. Not this shit that you niggas is doing on the internet. There's no power in that. This is public space. You understand? I'm on a public platform. I'm a public figure. You know what I'm saying? In a public space, speaking about private affairs in public. That's a violation in and of itself. But I'm a public figure until I change that and go private and become a private citizen and do private business with private entities in the privacy of my privateness. And I send my children to private school. And all of my accounts are private. The definition translation of that is when people say that they're sovereign. You gotta trust. You off the grid. You don't answer to anyone. You're not a ward of the state. They can't just come and mishandle you. They can't just do anything that they want with your earnings, whatever your belongings are. You got some rights. You could flex a little, my nigga, as a private citizen. You cannot do anything as a public citizen. You're like the tuna that they catch in the net, my nigga. You're part of the batch. You're just part of the whole. You have no legs, no hands, no head. Like how they catch all of them fish. They chop their heads and hand. They chop their heads and the tails off, and they all become tuna. You an NBC. You know what I'm talking about? You Negro, black, and colored. You a slave. You a corpus delicti, right? Corpus delicti. And people don't, I don't think people realize that's really what it is. You know, you got to get your ones up, you know, and you got to get you have to get not just your ones up, not just you have to get your network up because it's not just the ones is so ambiguous. It's so bigger than that. Like I said, that's really just the off. That's the residue. That's the receipt. That's the offspring of a good relationship. That's all the bag is. People fuck with you, so they buy your bootleg shit. You know what I'm talking about? People fuck with you, so they get the bundles from you rather than the Koreans because of the way you treat them, and they trust in you, so they come and stop by your spot instead of going to the Koreans who they've been dedicated to going to for 20 some odd years. Why? Because you do better business. You're a better person. So they have a better relationship with you, and they're going to build that relationship, and they may be loyal to you for 20 years. And then if you get 100 women like that, or if you get 2,000 women just feel the same way about you, you have a loyal fan base, or a loyal consumer base, or a loyal support base, or a loyal you know base of supporters, consumers, buyers, and you can stay alive, you can stay afloat, you could scale it, you could grow it, you could coexist, you do good business. So we should begin to focus on strengthening our networks. I promise you, the power, and not getting into everyone's business and making everybody, yo, you got to be one way or the highway. You know, we know a lot of that stuff is divisive. We know that we sat back and just let that shit play out and see if it could grow any legs and how healthy it was, and we see that that don't work. Niggas ain't getting to the bag. They're not focused on the real thing. They're not focused on momentum that they have at the moment. There's many critiques that I have of a lot of things, but I'll keep it to myself because this is not critique, critique alley. But what the brother did in Atlanta by opening up that institution, that should be an eye opener to the potential that awaits organizations that galvanize their membership to move and function in a similar manner. Remember, it's already organizations out here with more than 100 people. You're supposed to be lit. You know what I mean? In 2020, with all of the stuff that's out here with marijuana licenses, with hemp licenses, with CBD popping, with overseas import export, with the Africa thing opening up. Come on, man. And I know it's a bunch of people out there making shit happen, but collectively is the key. You know, there's a lot that are not. Don't even know it exists. Doesn't even know that they had the ability or the right or the permission to boss up without white people telling them that it's okay. It's, jump. All right, now it's time to jump on some Pavlov shit. So, you know, like I said, go and check out Dr. Ben. He's lit. Get your forecast. Know about these celestial alignments. You could bullshit with it if you want. If you need to study it more, go and check out sister like RV Bay Publications, rvbaypublications.com. Find out about astrologics, cosmophysician, cosmophysics. Find out about numbers through the numerology geniuses, Lloyd Strayhorn and King Simon. I think it's called Numeria. Wait, he's gonna wait. There, numerolot. Wait, I'm trying to remember what his title is, but it's the only title in the world. He's the only one who does that. Voodoo economics. Okay, well, do your voodoo economics then. You know what I mean? Get your voodoo economics popping. But numerology, right? King Simon does numerology, right? You know, let the readers, shout out to Brother Panic too, Let the readers, let the healers, let the diviners, let them deal with people's business. You stay out of people's business. You focus on your business. You focus on the businesses that you have interest in. You focus on the businesses that you want to have interest in. You focus on, oh, he's a numero vader. King Simon is a numero vader. All right, y'all get that clear. King Simon is a numero vader. That is a very interesting word that he has coined. You know, so we have dynamic people amongst us, and we have to add value to those people. The way that we add value to these people is we begin to add value to them. We begin to add value and worth to our people. The way that white people have uh, created icons out of their people is they added worth to them. And adding value to each other is free. Nobody has to twist your arm. When black people add value to St. Ides, niggas start drinking it around the world. When black people started adding value to Shell Toes Adidas, everybody started wearing it around the world. When black people added value to goddamn Jerry Curl juice, everybody started spraying that shit in their hair. We add value to things. We have the Midas touch. We're golden aura people, okay? We are golden aura people. Shout out to Cambada and that aura song, monumental. We're aura. We're, you know, we have a nature god, you know, god-like nature to our nature. To whereas we could touch some shit and breathe life to it. That's a fact. And it don't always happen the other way around if you think about it. So know your role, know who you are in the scheme of things, and begin to operate from that power position in a way where you are crafting your next plays to be offensive plays, not defensive plays, offensive plays. You going in for the dunk. You know what I'm talking about? You breaking some ankles and whatnot. You going on the inside, my nigga. Some offensive plays. The triangle offense. Yeah, try that out for a few times. So, you know, like Ross Ben explains in his video, there's no resistance on the chart for 2020. When they read the chart, there's no resistance. You don't have nothing in the way. It's all it's what a time to be alive part two. Life is good, my nigga. It's all that. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that because it's late, my friends. You know, we have to. I got things that I need to do in the morning. I gotta stay. I gotta keep up with this survey junkie and keep signing people up. You know what I mean? I've dealt with hundreds of people already, giving them the email and the link, and I'm honored to be doing this with hundreds of people, knowing that we all are a step closer to having more than what we had yesterday, and that alone is a feeling of fulfillment that our people are addicted to. Not just our people, my niggas, damn near everybody. It feel good to earn. It feel good to make a few dollars. It feel good to have money coming from different ways. It feel good to have options. I remember I had one option. You know what I'm saying? It feels better with multiple. And you stay on top of it, and you don't get big headed, and you don't try to fucking mutiny, and you don't try to sabotage the people who basically gave you the lion's paw and pulled you onto the boat. You don't try to capsize the boat doing nigga shit by poking holes in the boat. That's all we ask is trust. You know what I'm saying? That's all we ask is trust because nigga, we remove wisdom teeth and cancers. You know what I'm saying? We got cures for cancer over here. We remove bad wisdom teeth and cancer. So you'll get cut right out of the motherfucking body. Alright? So with that being said, I would love to stay longer with y'all, but we'll be back for Melanin Monday. You know, I was in a stool last night cooking with a brother E-Base. You know, shout out to E-Base, shout out to 38 Special, shout out to Songbird. So I had obligations, and I went and tapped into my creativity because of the importance of what's at hand. You know what I mean? You got to be able to create. So that's my ritual. That's how I do my wolf moon. I made some wolf shit. You know, man. I made some. I put something in the ethers. They got timestamp that'll be there. Forever. You dig? So yeah, I'll see y'all on Monday, Melanin Monday. We'll catch back up. Like I said, the link for the Survey Junkie is right in the description bar. Go and Google Survey Junkie. They've been around for 10 years. Or go and watch some YouTube videos. Watch the ones that are going to show you how to win it. You know what I mean? They got sore losers. Of course, people have sore losers or everywhere. But they got people to teach you how to basically go and use this stuff and go, it's multiple online get money at home from your phone, but there's a way to do it. Like I said, have a dummy phone and have a bank account that's not your bank account, that's your main bank account. Have you an account that you signing up to, all because they're gonna have you signing up to subscriptions. They're gonna have you signing up to Hulu. They might have you signing up. I signed up to Disney Plus. I done signed up to Hulu. I done signed up to all kind of shit just to complete these tasks. But the minute I complete the task, I go unsubscribe and unsign up. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a notebook. I write it down. You have to have a ledger. You have to be able to write things down because you can't remember everything. But as long as you have it on paper, then you have it recorded. That you have it forever in front of you, so you won't forget it. You dig what I'm saying? So develop a system with your spouse, develop a system with your children. You could get your children phones. Children have phones right now. You could get your children's a prepaid debit card, right? A prepaid debit card, they got like $50, right? $50, $40 on it. That's what you get too. Get a prepaid debit card, $20. It don't gotta be that much money because you're not gonna spend that much money, right? But just to be safe, through the whole process, I might have spent about $15 to $20. $1 here, $2 there, $3 here, $1 there. So you can't be cheap. Pay forward, my niggas. This is not a miser's thing. This is not poverty consciousness. This is not the fucking struggle, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This shit won't work with the struggle energy. This is Vegas. You know what I mean? This is casino. This is ginger and casino. Okay? The link is gonna be in the description after the show is over. It'll be in the description box. But yeah, I'm tired, y'all. So I'm out. We'll get up.